Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am really excited because we're here in Knoxville at Ultramarine and BassboatElectronics.com. You guys have probably already seen some of the videos I've done in the last week, but we are finally able to show you the 2025 920 Elite from Phoenix that we've rigged out this year. And this is, I've said pretty much every year, and it's 100% the truth, that every single build that we do is the best build that I've had, so the best system on a boat. But this year, it's very unique, okay? Because we've got a new trolling motor that we've never used before. We're using a brand that we haven't used solely before. Of course, we've used all the brands before, but this year we're running all Garmin. And we've got a new battery system that's brand new. There's a lot of things that are very, very new. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my best to run through everything. And of course, we're gonna be doing a ton of videos on this topic, on all the different components of this. So anyways, let's start at the bow. So the bow here, I think we got to start on the power pole move. So we've got the power pole move here. So they ended up sending the 52-inch power pole move, which at first, my whole point for getting the move was shallow water power fishing, because that's what I like to do most. And the move is well suited for that. It's got the titanium shaft on it. The mount is rock solid. I mean, absolute rock solid. And it's just pretty much indestructible in the face of stumps, grass, whatever. That's what Power Pole is known for, is shallow water. I mean, they've built their entire brand on shallow water fishing. So that's why we got it. And so the 52-inch was at first I was like, man, I don't know about that, because I don't want it to be too high out of the water and impede casting, when I'm fishing with it in ultra shallow water. But I also like the idea of being able to be out on the Great Lakes, or, Champlain was just announced for the end of season EQ events, and being able to have a shaft length that could keep the prop in the water is a big deal. And so I took the measuring tape out. So I ended up measuring the shaft length. It is 52 inches, go figure. But the great thing is I used to run the Motor Guide Tour Pro. I enjoyed that trolling motor, but the head was huge on it. It had a 7-inch, height head on it. This thing is the smallest head you've probably ever seen. It's the smallest head I've ever seen on a trolling motor. And so, honestly, after measuring my old trolling motor and measuring this one, even with this 52-inch shaft, and the Motor Guide being a 45-inch shaft, I'm actually only about an inch and a half higher with this one. So I'm not going to have any issues. I know that for a fact. And so I'm really excited about that. The power pole move in general, it's just packed with a lot of stuff that I think is going to be a lot of fun to figure out. It's definitely different, because this is a trolling motor that you really have to get on the app, get used to the app that they have. They've got a lot of features packed into this thing. And so, it's not just like I'm going to go to the lake and just drop it down and have everything ready. I kind of got to get this set up. But I'm going to have fun doing it, and we're going to do some content on it too. But really stoked on that. You see the LVS 34 down there. We also have a 2D sonar puck down here that we put there. I'm sure that there's down view too on that. But we did that because they texted me the other day, yesterday. They're like, "Do you want regular transducer on there?" I was like, "Absolutely, I want a regular transducer." I still, because I'm a shallow water power fisherman, live scope, this transducer really doesn't do all that much for me in like 2 foot of water, or 2 or 3 foot of water. It's a little bit more problematic at those sort of depths. So I still want the regular transducer. And then up here, let's get to the electronics. The electronics we've got full Garmin system, as we mentioned before. we've got the 1643, I think is the number, right here at the front. This is for my LVS 34 live scope only. And then we've got the 1243 down here, and we've got two other 1243s over there, all connected together. And so this will be my mapping, 2D sonar, maybe downscan. I don't think so. I think just 2D sonar. And I might do what I did on my Lowrances, have a big zoomed out screen and then a zoomed in screen and then my 2D. I think that's probably going to be it. But we've got all that up there. And it's on the Bass Boat Technologies mount. This thing is incredible. I kind of did a video just on this mount here. And you know, one of the things that I've always done with my boats before, even with the Phoenixes, which have the power for the trolling motor inside this hatch here, so inside the boat, I always want to be able to work on things from the outside. So what we did is we would put a plug right here instead of just going off of the factory installed wiring in here, because I don't want to have to take off this entire panel to access the trolling motor power if something goes wrong. But Bass Boat Technologies, they created this awesome hatch system. So that, I think they call this the hood. You have to just take these two off, and then two on the other side exactly the same. You just unscrew those, and this whole hatch lifts open like the hood of a car. So I can actually access everything, you know, through that. And so I can use what I consider and what most consider the far superior power system that they've got in the Phoenix from the factory, but don't have to worry about like wasting a bunch of time to be able to access it if something does go wrong. So then we've got a one of the GPS pucks up here, position sensors and all that, and that's on a I guess you could call it an L bracket, but that's another thing that Bass Boat Technologies does. And then we've got all the switches and everything for the move and for the power poles. I've got to go ahead and mount all these. So I told them don't do it. I'm pretty particular about my switches, so I'm going to do this at home, and I'll show you guys that at some point. Got another. You can see that they redesigned the switches for the power poles, because we've got the one dual anchor pump system in this thing. All right, so moving back here to the console, like I said, we've got the 1243s here at the console, duals, so we can do a lot of different things with the split screens and all that. We're going to have the side view, down view, 2D sonar, the mapping. It's got built-in Navionics maps, all that stuff right here. And this right here is the Move trolling motor remote, which I'm really excited about. And I'm really excited that it actually operates the power poles too, so all in one. There we go. So that's pretty cool. And that's actually powered. They just told me that it actually charges this remote. So take this out, and I think it charges right there. I might have that wrong, but I thought that was what they told me. But so that's mounted right there. Usually I mount them right here for the power poles, but that'll work just fine. I'll be able to find that. Yeah, I think that's everything right here. So let's get to the back here. This is the cleanest, by far, the cleanest battery system that we've done before. And the first thing you're going to notice is we've got a ton of space back here compared to previous years. We've got one less battery, so we're only running 4 batteries this year. 2 lithium 36 volt 50 amp hour Pro Guide batteries, lithium batteries, and then 2 31 group AGMs over there for the power, for the electronics and everything on the boat, as well as the cranking system. So both of these systems are in parallel. And then we also have the 1236X charger from Pro Guide hanging out under there. The guys here had to create a little custom mount for that. And then you got the one pump operating both of these power poles right here, which provides a lot of extra space, which I really like. But yeah, this is, other than like the space saving, aspect of this, being able to have a redundant system for the trolling motor, I think, is a really, really big deal, because previously we had 3 12-volt batteries running the trolling motor, and if one of them went out, the whole system is pretty much useless for a 36-volt system or trolling motor. Now, if one of these goes out, the other one is going to be able to carry us through the day, no problem. And so that is a, it's just something that means I don't have to think about battery power all that often. You can see they use pretty hefty wires, about as heavy of gauge wires that they possibly could, especially on that side. Check this out. They even put some even thicker gauge wires over here. So overall, very well done, very clean. And I will point out, we put all the weight over here. That was one thing that I asked them to do, was to put the AGMs on the passenger side, the port side of the boat, so I could keep the weight mostly over here. And that Pro Guide charge is actually pretty hefty too. So having most of the weight over here is definitely going to help kind of balance that weight and create a little bit of ballast. So yeah, pretty darn awesome. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, there's one other thing. So I mentioned in another video before that, Jason over here, he wanted to kind of, great camera work here. He wanted to add another temperature sensor to the boat, and I'm like, why do we need to do that? We've got different transducers all over the place. Why do we need another a temperature gauge? Well, he said that he wanted to put it in the live well so I can monitor the live well temperature. And so we ended up putting it in here. I think you guys can see it somewhere. Where is it? Yeah, oh yeah, it's that black thing in the back, that round thing. So that is going to connect to the NEMA network, or it does, so I can monitor the temperature in the live well. And the reason why it's on this side of the boat, I got here and they had kind of made that decision, but if we had co-anglers, this would be the co-angler side. But he was thinking, since we don't have co-anglers this year in the Opens, I'm probably going to fill this side first, just for that weight transfer, to balance the weight. And so I thought that was a really good idea. So this will be my primary side, but even if I have both sides running, I can gauge the temperature for both of them just through that one temperature sensor. At least that's the idea. But I'm really excited about that. Being able to know when I need to add ice or when to stop adding ice, I think is going to be a really, really big deal overall. So anyways, guys, this, I think, is the best boat build we've ever had. From power system to trolling motor to electronics to the finite little details to the power pole system, it is decked out. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys are interested in getting electronics or getting electronics installed or getting your stuff worked on, definitely check out bassboatelectronics.com and also ultramarineservice.com. They're the best in the business. Just awesome, awesome team here. So thank you guys for watching. I'm going to have some links in the description below. If you have any questions at all, let me know in the description below. Other than that, I'm going to go break this puppy in and get fishing. That's what I've been looking forward to. See you out in the water. Trust the process.